Remember to turn on all notifications so you don't miss a video. Man, is he really that caught up? I ask, if you talking about classics, do my name get brought up? I've talked about Vash a few times in other videos, but the recent arrival of Trigun Stampede reminded me that I haven't given Trigun a solo video. That, combined with my better understanding of ethical concepts, has led me to make a quick video essay on Vash the Stampede. Vash the Stampede is the epitome of Deontology, but when I first watched the anime, I didn't understand that, and it negatively impacted my enjoyment to a small degree. Vash was a protagonist who never wanted to fight despite being fully capable of combat. He also had a near unbreakable rule, which is that he will never kill or allow anyone around him to be killed. For most of the story, I didn't mind it because I'd seen peaceful pacifist characters before, but the part that really bothered me was when Wolfwood died. Wolfwood was Vash's counterpart, who disagreed with pacifism. He was all for killing his enemies, despite Vash trying to get him to change. Then, towards the end of the story, Wolfwood decides to spare his father in combat, and he's rewarded by being killed by that very same opponent. This is only in the anime, but this really rubbed me the wrong way, because on the surface level, the execution of the theme was opposite to what Vash was preaching. In a story, characters who follow the theme are rewarded, but here, Wolfwood followed the theme and suffered for it. This, plus the fact that I really enjoyed his character, really annoyed me. On top of that, Vash ended up breaking his rule once, when he killed Legato to save Meryl. So why was it that the one time Wolfwood followed Vash's code, he died? All of that got on my nerves, but after understanding ethical concepts like Deontology and teleology more, I've grown to respect Vash a lot more. Teleology is the idea that actions should be judged as good or bad based on the outcome of the action. In other words, the ends justify the means. Deontology is basically the opposite, and is the idea that action should be judged on the action itself, regardless of the outcome. Here's an example. The trolley problem. A train is going to kill 5 people tied to a railroad, but you have the chance to switch the train's route to a road that will only kill 1 person. Teleology would say that switching the train to the 1 person is better because more people survive overall, but Deontology would say that switching the train's path would make you a murderer, and since killing is wrong, you should let the train kill the 5 people it was already heading towards. I'm sure most people will call Deontology stupid, but I actually respect it because it's very noble. There are lines that can't be crossed. Doing the right thing isn't always easy. The problem with teleology is that it could easily turn into a slippery slope since there is no line that can't be crossed. For example, killing 100 people to save a million would be considered good according to teleology. The problem with Deontology is that it's naive. For example, you can't kill 1 mass murderer to save a million innocents. However, Vash is basically the best form of Deontology. His code is that no person has the right to decide when another person dies, like Deontology, but he's also willing to put his life on the line to establish that code in the world around him. He won't kill, but he also won't let anyone die. In the trolley situation, his decision wouldn't be to just let the 5 die. It would be to somehow find a way to rescue the 5 people or stop the train. This understanding allowed me to understand Wolfwood's death. It wasn't just a black and white theme where if you follow it, you're rewarded. His death in the anime was the story telling us that doing the right thing isn't always rewarding, and it can even lead to your demise. But that doesn't mean you should ever stop doing the right thing. After Vash kills Legato, he goes into a depression, but is eventually able to bounce back and stop knives. Vash killing Legato tells us that no one is perfect and you're bound to make mistakes, but you need to get up and continue to strive for improvement. In conclusion, Vash the Stampede is the epitome of Deontology and a great role model. He always tries to make the right choice, regardless of how difficult it is. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and help me revolutionize the manga industry by buying my manga and spreading the word. All important links will be in the description.